What's going on, guys? I'm gonna be reacting to Agent's Streamer University classes. I thought it'd be really interesting. I'm a type of creator where, as you guys can see, I have a whopping 130 subs, but I personally believe that if you want to grow, you should constantly be learning, looking at larger creators you want to be like, studying the way they make thumbnails, titles, all that stuff. If you genuinely want to grow, I literally was watching like a little editing video before this that I have bookmarked. You just genuinely have no excuse to constantly be trying to learn stuff. Usually I'm in a coffee shop drawing and then taking notes. Y'all like that? But obviously I can't go to a coffee shop and make a video. I can, but I don't know, I guess I don't want to do that. And so yeah, I figured I would take some notes on this class. Got a picture from my last venture at the old coffee shop. So I'm just gonna kind of like write on this side, stop and start the video. Agent is a great creator when it comes to like giving out free game for people. I'm just really big on smart creators that like do stuff strategically. I think being strategic is very important. I think if you're just kind of like throwing stuff at a wall, it's like, it's cool, but like we only have so much time. And I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 months now, and I'm constantly improving like titles, thumbnails, whatever. I just don't really want to waste my time, like, I don't know, trying to see what works, and you can learn from people that have already done it. So let's check out the video. Okay. This feels like a Disney Channel show. Teaching with Agent. This is day 2.
Come on in,
I might have to look at his day 1. This is his first class. Yeah.
Thank you for making it. Professor Agent. Professor Agent.
Period.
So sorry.
Professor Agent.
Nice to meet you.
It's Professor Agent.
Bro, I'm literally already stopping him, bro. One thing I've already learned is like looking at these freaking Galaxy phones. I would have never thought about investing in a phone that is like dedicated for streaming. It's almost like buying a camera, but like if you're really interested in IRL streaming, these phones have been freaking nuts. Today is the first day of DreamCon, and I was literally watching Dylan talk about how he's making the switch from his iPhone to the new Galaxy just because it's that much more seamless. So like if you got an extra, I think it's like $1,000, investing in that as opposed to like a traditional camera might be more beneficial depending on like the type of stuff you want to make. Bro, if I was in Streamer University and was not in Agent's class, I would have been so hot. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have snuck in.
Yeah. You're serious about learning, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want to hear.
I'm ready, man.
Welcome to Pocket Watching 101. Today, we're learning how to watch pockets, man. It's pretty simple. By the end of this class, you should be able to look at the person beside you and have an exact estimate on how much money they make as a content creator. It's not hard. All the information is publicly accessible. You just need the framework. So we're gonna do some exercises to help you guys get right so that everybody can become a professional pocket watcher. Okay? I'm gonna give you an example of a rough month I had where I lost a lot of money, and then a good month I had where I made a lot of money, just to give you an idea of what my pockets look like so you could better watch other people's pockets.
Gotta write that down, y'all. Hold on, wait. Oh my God, bro. So I just saw he spent 30% on his quarterly taxes, bro. That was what got me this year, was having to pay taxes. That was my first like time paying like a very sizable amount in taxes. And that shit fucking killed me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And then also I see he's got 20%. I'm pretty sure that's 20% for payroll. That's the one thing I've been noticing more and more. Like when Streamer University was happening, I don't know why I thought this, but I originally thought that people were gonna get cameramen that were like assigned by Kai. I wasn't even thinking that people were bringing their own cameramen, just cause like, naturally, I've never thought about like the hiring process, quote unquote, for doing that, especially because a lot of these streamers are smaller. Like I know Snowcone have her boyfriend doing it, so that makes sense. But I'm like, I feel like if I was an IRL streamer, I wouldn't even think about that until I was making like so much bread. But it is cool to see that like there are ways for smaller people to do it. You know, just probably have a friend with you that like likes film and shit, and it doesn't mind doing it for like little to no money while you're starting out. So
There's some people that actually just pocket the difference, but I'm a content creator. I've been a content creator since I was 12. I like to be able to do cool shit. So you don't get a chance to do that unless you start generating real revenue. In the months where I generate more revenue, I do cooler shit. In the months where it's a little bit slower, I had to slow it down. It's a business at the end of the day. You can't run out of money, otherwise you had to sell your house. If there's a company I like, I DM them. I DM'd Cinnabon 4 days ago. I DM'd Popeyes last month. I did a deal with them last week. So,
bro, I kid you not, y'all. I'm putting this fucking video when I actually get like some numbers. Olipop. I am getting an Olipop sponsorship. I swear it's gonna be a running joke on this channel, bro. I love Olipop so much. Yes, I'll talk about your product. I love your product, bro. Like when it comes to tech, I don't really like have brands that I'm like crazy about or anything right now. but you know, later I might. But when it comes to like the food and beverage space, Olipop.
I just reach out. So this was a rough month for me, January, in terms of revenue. Chat, you know this. We had the weight loss marathon this month. It was expensive, bro. The house rental alone was $80,000. It was another $80,000 on top of the rest of expenses just for that marathon. I had to lose 25 pounds in 10 days. I gained all the weight back. But it was great content.
80K for 10 days? I was about to look it up. Like, I assumed he was there for a month. I do totally understand the concept of spending money to make money, like investing in your content. That's something that now, literally, I'm filming this video before I go to a training for like a new job. I haven't worked in 3 months. I literally left my job like the first month I started doing YouTube. Not for YouTube, just because there were some differences there. And I've literally been surviving off of my savings for the past like 4 months. But it is one of those things where now I want to start investing the money I make, because I had so much money saved up last year, which is why I could do that 3-4 months without a job, whatever. But now I really do want to like start to invest in my content, because I do feel like, I don't know, I think you reap what you sow, in a manner of speaking. Anytime
you need to rent something, buy something, move something, transport something, flights you're booking for people, the team that you have, the payroll, it's a business, bro. So there's gonna be a lot of expenses, and it tallied up to $350,000, my nigga. It's a lot, bro.
Was any of that a write-off?
All of it is write-off. Every business expense is write-off. This whole thing, yeah. My personal expense is not in this because that would be personal revenue split. It's okay to spend money on idea, even if you think it's not gonna make money. The reason why this was such a loser for us in terms of profit was because January has notoriously bad ads. And we didn't anticipate it was gonna be that bad. If we do this in December, the weight loss marathon would have been very profitable. Companies don't pay for a lot of ads in the Q1. January, February, March. So what you wanna do is, so essentially you're still gonna make content. You're not gonna not make content in those months, but I didn't realize how big of a difference it was gonna be. And at the time, I think some niggas pull ads from Twitch. It was just a bad time for ads. Realize how big of a difference it was gonna be. And at the time, I think some niggas pull ads from Twitch. It was just a bad time for ads.
I know that the film industry in like January, usually like that's when stuff starts getting like back in circulation, because they kind of take a little bit of a break in December. But like, it's very interesting to me that like, I guess in the ad space, they run, I don't know why I've never thought about seasonality being a thing for ads. Like, I guess with like holidays and shit being better, like you talked about December, it's probably really huge because of like Christmas. But like, I don't know why I would think like with the new year and stuff that they would slow down. I know that like movies don't always perform well if they come out in January, but I don't know what that has to do with like consumers, I guess.
And so I lost maybe like $100,000 on that, and I wasn't able to make the money back in the rest of the month, which is okay because I was happy with the content though. That's what I'm saying. The whole point of today's lesson is like, yo, it's cool to lose money as long as you're happy with the content, because there's gonna be other ideas you have that make money that's not that high lift, that's not that high production. This is what,
and that might have gotten more eyes on him
January
too.
On Twitch, you could tell it's a marathon because I had 300-hour stream.
That's wild.
I really want y'all to focus in on this though. This is why I'm saying ads are really underrated. Do you see this purple section here? Yeah. Those are ads. If I were
Oh, we can see his breakdown. Cheering, so cheers, okay. Turbo, I guess that's a type of subscription on Twitch, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Also, if anybody's like, how does bro not know this? I am a YouTuber first. I streamed on Twitch for like a month in December just to like see if I wanted to do it, if I liked it. Thank you, Ludwig, for telling me to do that. But YouTube is my main focus right now. I told myself I think I was gonna start streaming in June, try to like pump out some clips. But you can talk to me about YouTube analytics, but Twitch, I'm very new to.
Move by ads, my budget is eviscerated. So I'm saying it's underrated because it's the main way I get to do cool stuff. It also helps convert subscribers because niggas want to subscribe if there's lots of ads, but I wouldn't recommend that because the main priority for small streamers is discovery. As you grow, I would recommend it more and more. But I really truly believe it, bro. Like without ads, and you can see this split here, I pulled it up on purpose. Like on an average day in January, this is a marathon, so I was live the whole day. Keep in mind, there's ads playing the entire day.
Even when you sleep. Making money in your sleep.
That's wild. Because if this was done in December, that's gonna be 20,000, 25,000. In the months where you are buying more, advertisers are spending more.
I do a subathon in December.
Thanksgivings, Christmases, that season hits hard. Summertime, people going on vacation. So this was Twitch, and this is what YouTube looked like in a little bit more of an optimized month.
That is huge.
And keep in mind, like these are just clips from the stream, bro.
That's nuts. Now I will say too, Moist Critical Charlie, if you guys know him, he made a video talking about the difference between like streaming on YouTube and streaming on Twitch, and the revenues were really different in terms of the VODs he said that like he was getting more money for VODs on YouTube than he was Twitch, because he was saying that like they don't really run ads on Twitch VODs as much. Now I will say I've been starting to see them, and again, right, YouTuber talking. I have been starting to see tons of ads though on my like VODs that I watch for certain streamers like RDC. And even though I'm subbed to them, on like an off chance that I'm not subbed for like that week or whatever, I have been seeing more and more ads. So I'm not sure how that revenue does after the stream, but I hear on YouTube it is super lucrative.
This is wild for him though. I mean, 56K subs, 84K revenue, 3.8 million. Is that watch time, watch hours?
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. I know he's gonna say it later. He has to say this later. Subs are great. It's a little bit different again, YouTube, Twitch, because subs you literally make money off of. But if we talk on YouTube, subs are great, likes are great, views are great. But the most important metric is watch time. People have got to understand that watch time is so freaking important, because I can't run ads, but people are only watching the first 30 seconds of your video. I'm just not going to keep pushing out your content because clearly it's not good enough. Nobody's watching it. But if you have a 10-minute video and people are watching 8-7 minutes of your video, okay, there's something there. But watch time is always the thing that like I'm trying to optimize, but it goes like that because you don't always know your videos being shown to if they care, if they want to watch it, and that's really important.
And keep in mind, like, these are just clips from the stream, bro. So if we take a look, also I nailed it on brand deals. We had a lot of mega brand deals that month. And so the overall revenue was fantastic.
Holy moly, bro. 310 in brand deals. And again, I've not watched one of his streams, like in terms of like his long like subathons, marathons, whatever. I did see Kai's. I didn't even think about being able to, that's crazy. In 1 month, that's crazy.
Even though we spent 500,000, we still made money. You get what I'm saying?
That's good.
So I spent 500, but I made 800. Now you have 282,000. What's your next big idea?
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? That's what money does. Like, what's your next big idea? Like Streamer University, boom. Like, you guys all, I imagine, are creatives. Like, you have good ideas in your notes, in your textbooks, in your phone. Like, that's what helps make it happen. But it's not, but I also don't think you spend 100% of it on that though. That's why we bullet sponsoring this right here. Because you should also invest it. Whatever avenue you choose to do it in. It could be real estate, it could be investing in stocks, it could be in whatever you feel comfortable in.
That is another thing, bro. Agent, the reason why I do like hearing this stuff from him, when I first found AMP, Agent was one of the people that I found because he was making videos and people in the comments were talking about how smart he was because he was investing in real estate and stuff. I didn't know he was doing that. I don't know many YouTubers that openly talk about that kind of stuff. I'm sure other people do it, but like, I'm pretty sure he's from Toronto. Bro has property there. I'm pretty sure he has property in Atlanta. Like, he is very strategic and knows how to like diversify his portfolio, which also like helps with risk too. And he's just very smart with his money, and you got to respect it for real.
So this is the pocket watching cheat sheet. I'm about to hand it out to y'all, okay? What I want y'all to take from this is I'm giving you a few instances of what you can get on the lower end of brand deals, higher end of brand deals, lower end of ads, really higher end of ads, lower end of monthly views on YouTube, higher end of monthly views on YouTube. The reason why I'm giving a range is because if you're in tech and finance on YouTube, you're at the peak.
That is nuts.
The reason why I'm giving a range is because if you're in tech and finance on YouTube, pranks and IRLs, the chances are you're probably in the mid-range, 3,000 to 5,000. It's a huge behemoth of a difference. There's no way to just snipe it. You just have to account for the variables.
See, I've thought about IRL streaming mostly because like I've seen the FaZe guys. I grew up with like OG FaZe, like Adapt is someone that I literally was watching when I was in high school, which is so crazy to think about. But that was like New York House. If you know, you know. But when I see people do IRL streaming now, I get so nervous about that shit though in terms of like safety. Like I live in a pretty like major city. I've tried not to talk about where I live too much. You can probably find a video and dig, like if you actually give a fuck, like you can find it, but I'm not gonna be stupid enough to be like, hey, I live in whatever. But it is one of those things though where it's like, nigga, I know y'all see the clips of somebody walking around and in the background chat's going crazy like, look behind you, and there's somebody like waiting to grab your stuff. I'm like, nah, I can't. And even though I know I'm a smaller person, whatever, but still, it's one of those things that I think is interesting. I do think it's interesting, but I have to work my way up to that for sure.
You'll make more money in September than you will in February. It's true. So that has to be accounted. Maybe you had a peak month. You can't say a nigga makes that every month. Maybe you had a bad month. You can't say a nigga makes that every month. It's impossible. So you have to account for all the variables. There's a lot. What ad rate they run, right? Even the length of their YouTube videos, because you could fit more ads in a longer YouTube video. That's why a lot of people run them VOD channels, because it's an 8-hour video, bro. You could span that bitch with ads. Like, there's so many variables that this should give you a baseline. If you see a nigga with 2,000 live viewers and you looking at his streaming, like he's probably running about half ads. You can calculate them, watch for hours, see how much ads he's running. You can find out exactly how much that nigga makes. All right, man.
That's real. And another thing too, I will say the agent didn't mention, and he might mention later again, this nigga knows way more than me, is negotiating. When it comes to like brand deals and stuff like that, look, y'all, I know you're like, Charles, you have 130 fucking subs. What you know about negotiating brand deals? Look, I've been hustling on the info for years, bro. One of those things is asking like, hey, what do you guys have? Like, what's your budget for this project you're working on, whatever? Because they might come at you with like a flat rate, whatever. They also might be more flexible too. Because if they think you don't know any better and that they like don't have to pay you more, they're not going to. You know what I mean? Because like as much as it's a business for you, it's a business for them too. And if they can pocket more money, they're gonna pocket more money. So I would say, don't be afraid to, ask those questions, because that's not gonna get them to be like, you're greedy, we're out of here. But just see. Because they might want to know, hey, what's your normal range? Because making sure that you understand where and how you value yourself, because unless you really like a company or whatever, you don't want to start undercutting yourself with less and less. Because I'm not saying word gets around, because I don't know if that shit happens, but you don't want people thinking, oh yeah, you guys should go with this streamer. This nigga cheap as hell. He doesn't even know that we usually pay people 5K. He's cool with 2K. That type of thing. Again, grain of salt. Have I done a brand deal? No, but just giving you a little bit of perspective. If it makes sense, cool. If it doesn't,
I also want to say, like, there's a lot of money in content now, and that's a lot of the reason why people are getting into content. Those are frauds.
That's true.
Okay? A lot of you people here, the reason why you got here is because you genuinely enjoy creating content, that you're a creative, and that you want to see your ideas become reality. And so don't lose sight of the creative aspect because you're too busy chasing money, but don't lose sight of the money because you're too busy trying to be creative. At the end of the day, it's hand in hand. Your ability to do both is your ability to operate and execute.
Something I saw, and I'm gonna grab my phone really quick. Jack Conte is the CEO of Patreon. And I watched a podcast of his, and something he talked about, which was really huge. He talked about the difference between being a programming exec that knows what audience want and an artist that doesn't care. So if you don't know what programming is literally like you choosing the programming that people watch. So is the difference between being like, I know that if I clip farm this, or if I am playing this game or reacting to this creator, whatever, it's gonna get views. It's not what I wanna do, but I know it's gonna get views. As opposed to somebody that is a creative that's like, I'm gonna stream Stardew Valley for 4 hours a day because that's what I like and I don't really care what anybody says. Just understanding your lane, right? Like you can do that to some extent, but still you do have bills to pay and you're putting a lot of time in this stuff. It just depends on it just kind of depends on what your goals are, obviously.
Must do's before we head out. First thing you gotta do is bet on yourself. If you're afraid to do the idea because you think it might backfire, you don't believe in yourself. That doesn't mean take dumb risks. All right, some of my risks, as I showed you, did not pay off financially, but it paid off for me. It fulfilled me as a content creator. So once you start to generate more, work with that. That's your operating budget. Now you have an opportunity to cook a little bit more. Help grow your stream. I think consistency is important. In my third class on Sunday, I'm gonna get more into strategy on how to grow as a streamer and stuff I learned and stuff like that. And I also want it to be cooperative. Like if there's things other people learned, we're gonna share it as a class so we all learn.
Oh yeah, that's
but
dope.
for today, I'm really just focused on the pocket watching aspect. Bet on yourself, bro. If you don't believe in yourself, who the will? Hey, the purpose of this talk was I kind of wanted it to be funny, like packaging wise, pocket watching, but I hope you at least learn like one thing that can help you make a little bit more money, bro. Deadass, I hope you did. Appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you, Agent. That's a W video. I would say that's a huge thing, is just understanding like you are enough, especially when you're a content creator. Like, okay, bro, I'm hella small. I'm not gonna be emailing no brands anytime soon. That would be idiotic and arrogant. But it is one of those things that, bro, if you're getting 1,000 streamers on Twitch, why wouldn't you try and reach out and talk to your favorite creator or whatever? He does have this video. I'm gonna watch that later. I do have to get to work soon. I think I'm gonna react to his final class that he teaches in a separate video. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Hey, Agent, if you're watching this, call me. Probably not, but but yeah, if you guys like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you're a creator and you're watching this, bro, leave your shit down in the description. Yeah, I'm just like, I want to meet more people that like making this shit, hustling. I've probably been made a video every day or every other day the past like 4 or 5 months. Your boy's on like 90 something videos, about to hit 100 in the next couple weeks. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, see you guys next time.